If you know me, you will know that I have not really always cared too much about celebrities, but one celebrity that I do really admire is Dua Lipa. In fact, she is one of my favorite pop stars, and I have been a fan of her for many, many years. So because Dua Lipa is kind of an it girl right now, I felt that what better time is there really to make a style breakdown video of Dua Lipa and her style than it is right now. So not to state kind of the obvious here, but in case you didn't know, Dua Lipa of course has her own stylist. His name is Lorenzo Posocco. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But with that said, she has a very large budget and of course also like an expert opinion for any outfit her heart desires. And it can sometimes be a little bit disheartening to look at celebrity outfits and feel that there's just no way that you could maybe recreate them. But in this video, I'm going to try and prove that theory wrong. I think a lot of the times we just get too wrapped up in looking at the whole entire picture that we fail to notice some of the small details that really are what makes an outfit great. So in today's video, I'm going to be running through some of Dua Lipa's recent outfits from this year. I have been going through her Instagram and looked at her recent posts on there. Thankfully, she is super duper active on Instagram and basically posts all of her outfits on there. So it's been quite easy to just kind of source outfits for this video. But I know that there are also so many other sources from online and paparazzi shots and Vogue and all of those kind of media libraries that you can look through if you want some more inspiration. In all of these photos, I managed to find some kind of like common denominators, if you will, and kind of recurring pieces and style choices that we're gonna look closer at in this video. But before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Louise and I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious ways, as well as how to develop your own personal style. So going through her outfit pics, one thing that I really noticed is that she has a lot of fun nails. And one style that she seems to particularly enjoy is kind of like a nude or a soft pink nail with a design on top, like the one that you can see here on the right. Or French tips, but not your traditional French tip, but like a printed French tip or a black French tip or any other color for that matter. She also seems to favor almond shaped nails and either black or red polish, but she also does play around with everything from flowers to stars to dots to these bejeweled stickers. And of course, not everyone is a huge fan of these long nails. As you can tell from this video, my nails are completely bare at the moment. I try to just apply regular gel polish at home, which I do from time to time, but I'm kind of over that phase in my life where I used to have a really super long nails. I think it's a good look, but it's just a lot of upkeep and maintenance for me personally. But I do think that if you have the time and the motivation to do it, then of course you should, and I think it looks super duper cool. Plus, I think if you wear quite like an understated outfit, it can really make your outfit a lot more playful. Next, we have belts, and you're gonna be belts. Like Louise, obviously that is a common thing to wear, but I might sound a bit dumb for saying this considering I have a YouTube channel focused on fashion and personal style, but I only recently discovered the power of belts and how it can really change the way that your outfit looks. And Dua seems to really love this leopard belt, which I've seen in a lot of her posts, but she also wears a lot of Western cowboy inspired belts like the one on the right here. And I think that these are just great example of quite simple outfits that you can recreate at home, because it proves that the addition of a simple or even a simple or a more playful belt can really add or it does add an extra layer to your outfit, and you don't need to wear super cool outfits to begin with. A studded belt placed quite low on the hips can look really good with a knitted dress. I know that she's wearing like a bodysuit here on this image, but it would look equally as good with a dress. And a western belt is very, very nice to pair with denim shorts or a pair of jeans, or even just a pair of tailored trousers and a black t-shirt like the one she wears here. If you don't have any belts at home, I suggest that maybe you borrow some or you find some in a vintage store. I think that there are so many fun options out there, and it's just one of those kind of low effort items that you can play around with and have fun with, and it's going to make your outfit so much more cool. Another thing that I noticed is these pops of red, and a pop of red, I think in any case, is quite effective to really grab attention to a specific part of your outfit. In these examples, she's wearing like a pair of red sandals and a red purse, but it doesn't even have to be those items. It could be your glasses, it could be a pair of earrings with like a red little gemstone. It can even be a very thin scarf that's barely visible underneath your jacket. I think playing with color in this way is really effective. If you have an outfit in mind that you don't quite know what's missing, you can try and add a little pop of your favorite color. And in this case, obviously red, I think, is one of Dua Lipa's favorite color, just judging by her Instagram feed. So looking more closely at what types of print Dua Lipa seems to favor, I noticed that animal prints in particular is really common for her to wear. I think probably the most common one is the leopard print, and she will wear leopard print on anything from a jacket to a bikini to a handbag. And these were just 3 examples that I found in which she wore a leopard print, but she definitely does wear a lot of leopard. It's one of those things where once you see it, you can't unsee it. But she also does wear snakeskin, and I fell in love with these snakeskin boots, but I also did see a feature of her in Vogue where she was wearing this full-length snakeskin trench coat, which was divine. She also tends to choose prints that already have her favorite accent colors, so those are like reds, browns, and black, and so even if she's mixing these prints in with her outfit, it all does feel quite cohesive. So it's a good styling hack, I think. If you're looking to incorporate more prints in your closet, then you should choose prints that kind of have the same color family as your other like color palette in your closet, so that you can mix them with other items without it looking too random. Next, we have stripes. Stripes is of course a classic, and maybe it's a staple in your closet as well, but I think that Dua is very good at mixing stripes with stripes. So I assume that she's wearing some kind of skirt here that's designed this way on the left photo, but it looks like something that you could potentially recreate quite easily just with another shirt tied around your waist. And I also like how she tied a very small scarf around her belt in this right photo here. She also does wear stripes in more ways than in just a classic button-up shirt. Here are just a few examples of some recent outfits that I found, but I think that she's very good at balancing these prints with more like clean silhouettes. When she does this like stripe mixing, she tends to stick to a quite tailored silhouette of the shirt, so it doesn't become too much of everything. And when she does wear leopard or snakeskin, the shape of the outfit is more streamlined. So for instance, she would wear this classic trench coat, but it's in snakeskin. And if she's wearing a silhouette that's bigger or louder, she keeps the print and the colors more low-key. Looking a little bit closer at materials, and the first material that she does wear a lot is of course leather. wearing leather as a pop star, maybe I think every pop star does, but I think the way that Dua Lipa wears it is quite relatable in a sense, because here are some examples which I feel are quite easy to recreate for things like going out. Even these like leather trousers are quite timeless in my opinion. I myself have a pair of leather trousers that I wear a lot during the winter. And she's also kind of layering leather on leather, but then again, she doesn't need a bunch of other styling to compete with the leather. So when she does wear these outfits, she does seem to keep her makeup quite minimal, which gives it a very balanced look. Leather is also a really versatile material for every day, of course, and here are two examples of some more maybe everyday looks from Dua Lipa. Next we have denim, which is obviously also like a staple material for a lot of us, but Dua does a lot of denim on denim, which I personally also think is quite timeless. But when she does that, she does mix in some prints. She does seem to favor light wash denim, which I think suits her really well. And she often pairs her jeans with a pair of easy slingback or open toe heels, which just makes the outfit a little bit more dressy. And with that said, she also has a lot of more down-key, low-key outfits like the one on the right. And I think that's like a really good example of an outfit that you probably already have in your closet. So again, quite easy to recreate. As for aesthetic goes, it is quite hard to pinpoint a certain aesthetic for Dua Lipa. I know that we try and box people in and say like, oh, she dresses preppy, she dresses sporty, which is a little bit unfair because I think a lot of our styles do evolve with time and it's rarely black and white. We do have nuances of different styles mixed all together, but I try to find two kind of aesthetics that we're going to talk more about. But Dua Lipa is kind of a chameleon in fashion. One aesthetic that I did find is that she tends to favor this like football girl, sporty, chic style, if you will. And I think she has been sponsored by Puma, so it makes sense for her to be wearing the Puma Speed Cat trainers. But what is unique about this outfit is the way that she is combining it with more tailored pieces like a pinstripe shirt or a blazer. I also personally really like the way that you can wear a pair of tracksuit bottoms with a blazer. I've always loved the juxtaposition of that. And I also love to see that she's re-wearing her favorite items. So here again, we can see that leopard print handbag that she was wearing in a previous post. Now, it may be due to the fact that Dua Lipa went to Brazil recently, but she is also really good at playing around with different color combinations, and she does seem to favor red, yellow, and green, and she looks really cool in these tracksuit styles, but also these kind of racing style jackets on the left. In case you didn't know, Dua Lipa also has a podcast and a book club called Service 95. So not only is she an international pop star, but she's also very smart, educated, well-spoken, and socially aware. So this kind of bleeds into her aesthetic, which is a little bit more dressed up, academic, if you will, like tailored coats, tailored jackets, lots of glasses, and court shoes. And she also suits really well in this more relaxed, preppy style with collared cardigans, rugby shirts, but keeping it playful again with the color combinations and stripes and prints. So overall, what stands out about Dua Lipa's style is that she focuses on details rather than volume, and she repeats the same prints, the same accessories, the same materials, but she combines them in a lot of new and fun ways. And I think that's what makes her style feel both aspirational but also surprisingly achievable, because it kind of proves that you don't need to own a bunch of different clothes in order to wear new outfits. It's more about finding new ways to combine them and really re-wearing the pieces that you love. She also obviously plays around with hair and makeup a lot, which of course can also alter the way that your outfit looks. Just a side note as well, if you're looking to reinvent your outfits. As far as which brands she wears, you maybe looked at this video and thought like, okay, I could probably recreate this, but I'm not sure which brands Dua Lipa would shop from. There is a really good site that's called starstyle.com that I had a look at before this video. They will list the exact pieces that she wears in all of her posts, so if you're interested in that, head over to their site. But that is it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of style breakdown. I myself am a huge fan of Dua Lipa, so I had a lot of fun with this. If you would like to see more videos like this, let me know who you would like me to analyze and maybe other topics or ideas that you would like me to talk about. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, maybe share this video with a friend and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Louise Wears. I wish you the best week ahead and I will see you again next time. Bye!